Let's talk about Australian government overreach and how expanding taxes, debt, and controls threaten your financial freedom, and how Bitcoin offers an exit. Australia is witnessing a steady expansion of government control over money, investments, and personal wealth. From new and unusual taxes to ever-changing superannuation rules and rising government debt, the direction is unmistakable. Less individual autonomy, more state intervention. For those concerned about their financial future, understanding these trends and how Bitcoin can help is more urgent than ever. Here's some of the new taxes that have been planned or introduced to fill government coffers. 1. The view tax on Gold Coast apartments. In a move that's raised eyebrows, Gold Coast apartment owners are now facing the aptly named view tax. This tax increases rates on properties effectively with ocean or scenic views, essentially penalizing owners for the location and outlook of their homes. It's a creative revenue grab that sets a precedent for taxing lifestyle and property features. 2. Vacant land tax in Victoria. Victoria's vacant residential land tax targets property owners who leave their land unbuilt or their houses or apartments unoccupied. The rationale is to encourage development and boost housing supply, but in practice, it's another lever for extracting revenue from private property holders. 3. Proposed unrealised capital gains tax. Perhaps most concerning was the push for an unrealised capital gains tax. Traditionally, capital gains tax is paid when you sell an asset and realise a profit. Under the proposed model, you'd pay tax on the increase in value of your assets, even if you haven't sold them and have no cash in hand. This means you could have been forced to sell assets just to pay your tax bill, a scenario that would devastate investors and retirees alike. Thankfully, plans for this tax were repealed after so much public backlash about it. But it does speak to the lengths that government will go to rake in more of your wealth. Then there's superannuation. But it's your money, their rules. Superannuation was designed as a way for Australians to save for retirement, but the rules are constantly changing. The government is repeatedly pushing out the age at which you can access your super, and it's not far-fetched to imagine future restrictions on how much you're allowed to withdraw, even though it's your money. This constant moving of the goalposts creates uncertainty and undermines confidence in the system. There's also a government debt problem created by unchecked spending. Australia's government debt has ballooned due to years of unchecked spending, especially during the pandemic. This debt won't pay itself off. The only way for the government to recoup these funds is through increased and creative taxation. Every new tax levy and restriction is a direct consequence of this mounting debt burden. Australia is shifting towards socialism. Here's a striking fact. Over 50% of Australians now receive their income, either as wages or welfare, from the government. This means more than half the population is directly dependent on the state. As we edge closer to a socialist model, where the government owns more, individuals own less, and everyone is expected to be content, personal financial autonomy erodes. Socialism at its core is about the state controlling resources and wealth. The current trajectory, more taxes, more rules, more dependency, shows Australia moving in that direction. So why does Bitcoin matter more than ever? Bitcoin stands in stark contrast to this trend. It's a powerful tool for Australians seeking to protect their wealth and freedom. Bitcoin is decentralized money. With Bitcoin, you control your money. There's no central authority that can change the rules, seize your assets, or limit your access to your digital wealth. Bitcoin protects against inflation and maintains your personal sovereignty. Bitcoin's fixed supply, 21 million coins, makes it immune to the inflationary pressures that plague fiat currencies. Bitcoin gives you financial sovereignty in a shifting system. As governments grow more powerful and intrusive, Bitcoin offers an escape hatch, a way to opt out of the system and preserve your independence. So the choice is yours. The Australian government's growing control over investments, money and taxes is unlikely to slow down. As debt rises and more people rely on the state for income, expect even more creative taxes and tighter restrictions. But there is an alternative. By learning about and adopting Bitcoin, you can take back control of your financial future, no matter how far government overreach goes. Get your free copy of our guide, Bitcoin, the Digital Gold Rush. Do you want to find out all the answers to your questions about Bitcoin and fast-track your financial independence? Book a Bitcoin strategy call with us today to regain control over your financial future.